Welcome back to the Summerley Raceway, Larkhall in Scotland, the West of Scotland Kart Club hosting the Bambino Kart Club once again. And this is the C50 Bambinos. This is essentially a Formula One qualifying session for youngsters. This is the Bambino class for the newcomers starting their motor racing career. It's not a race as such. It is basically a 10-minute timed session, and whoever comes through at the end of the 10 minutes, you can do as many laps as you like in that point, of course, but whoever comes through with the fastest lap time walks away with the 25 points for being fastest. It's 24 for second, 23 for third, and so on, all the way down to 1.4, what would be 25th, although on this particular occasion we have 16 of them in the grid, so whoever is 16th will still walk away with 10 points. Whoops, Larry Price has had a bit of a spin early doors. Now hopefully he can get himself back going again, and the good thing about this session, Alan, is that even if you have an off, you can push the kart back on and keep going and you're not out of it.
You only need one lap to put a fast time in. As you say, basically there are 3 sessions, guys, during the day. This is the third of the 3 that we're filming today, and 25 points for the win, 24 for second, and so on and so forth. And that's how it works. So even if you spin off, doesn't really matter. It's about trying to set a real fast lap time and score as many points as you can. As they go through the line for the first time, Carlin just puts in the fastest lap there, 1:16 from Cole Denham's 1:18. Braith Murdoch first and third. We're looking at there the man on the 14 kart, the man I like to call the little adult. You can't shut him up when you start talking to him. He's quite a chatty little chap. But he now puts it, he goes fastest in fact, 1:14, 2 seconds quicker now than Tyler Lee up to second, Jake. Jensen Walker third, Ronnie Ray Carter now fourth.
But I tell you what, that's to his credit, Braith Murdoch. If he's a chatterbox, then that's going to be a marketing gold mine.
It is. George House goes second now, Jake. Out of the shot of the cameras at the moment.
On up to third comes Levi McGrath. So McGrath now up into P3. Tyler Lee, then Jensen Walker. Ronnie Ray Carter, who I'm fairly sure is the youngest racing driver in Great Britain. I think that's a pretty incredible accolade, but I'm fairly sure when he did his first event, he was about to turn 6. I'm fairly sure he's the youngest racing driver, potentially, in recorded history. I think we need to get Guinness on the phone, because there's a genuine chance that Ronnie Ray Carter might be the youngest racing driver in the world.
Possibly. What about motorcycling? Are you including motorcycling in
that?
Well,
yeah, possibly not, because they start from 5, don't they? So, yeah, you've got a point there. I know there are various parts of the world where they even start at 4, would you believe, which is absolutely insanity. But anyway, these guys putting in a good show. Josh Carlin's first major flying lap is a 1:10.0, so that's the benchmark. Cole Denham on a 1:10.09. Braith Murdoch's done a 1:10.3, so that places him in third, but I think he's about to come around and finish his latest flying lap.
George House is out, Jake. 11th in session 1, 12th in session 2, but he's not going any further in this session. 1:15.2, that's going to be it, I'm afraid. Tyler Lee, 8th in the first session, 5th in the second session, and currently 6th.
Well, this man is the 83, that's Tyler Davis. He currently runs in P5, and he's a real threat for the top 3 here. He can give himself a really good run and potentially come through with a 3rd position run. But Josh Carlin is at the top spot. This is Braith Murdoch we just saw a whisker of. Now Levi McGrath, the 68. These guys are able to duel away on circuit, but they're not technically racing. Luke Millward is the man he's battling with. There's Jensen Walker, 7th in both of the previous sessions, so his target is clear. Break into the top 6 for the first time, and he's not far away from that in terms of his overall pace. Tyler Davis, of course, is the new championship leader this weekend, with a 3rd and a 6th over the course of the 2 weekends. The consistency has been with him.
Yeah, and the reason he's the new championship leader, as things stand, Jake, just look where the championship leader is. Charlie Lomas in P12. What's he doing down there? He's got a problem, clearly, and it's going to cost him the championship lead. He's going to end up being a couple of points behind, possibly.
New leader, Braith Murdoch's broken back to the front. It's a 1:09.106. Ronnie Ray Carter, we're just seeing his details, 9th in the previous 2 sessions, so firmly in the top 10 already. Not bad at all from the youngster. He's 10th at the moment. There is Izanosa Pashal Osagi, who has been in the mix over the course of the 2 previous sessions. So hopefully things are going to continue on for Pashal Osagi. And there's Jensen White currently battering away on the road, actually, with Ronnie Ray Carter. So those two are dueling on the road as well as on the timesheets. They are absolutely together. Jensen White's 9th, Ronnie Ray Carter's 10th.
Yeah, 9th and 10th. And Braith Murdoch was being helped out, I think, Jake, here, by the fact that he's got a couple of people to chase.
He has indeed. He's just found another half second. Look at that, a 1:08.641. I'm not sure that's going to be beaten by anybody else. Josh Carlin can get close to that on a 1:09.4 at the moment. He might be able to break into the 1:08s, but I'm not sure anyone else is going to hit the 1:08. The way that we've seen the pace so far over the course of the weekend, well, there's a chance for a couple of them. Maybe Cole Denham could get there. All it takes is one really strong, confident sector to really romp through the apexes at the right line, in the right speed, in the right mode, and you can find an extra quarter of a second to half a second. It's easily doable.
Freddie Denton was picked out there, goes through the line there, 1:11.5 for 9th place. 68 right in behind him, that's Levi McGrath. Good enough for 10th, 1:11.9. These drivers, when they're together on the track, that's really what you want. You want to be towed along by someone, help each other out, push each other along, and that will help reduce your lap time. You will go that much quicker. You don't want to get too much or allow too much of a gap to develop between the karts, if you can help it.
Now, there are some people who are going to be watching along this going, this isn't racing, why are they just running around? Well, come on, let's get some context here, guys. These are 6 years old, these guys. They are literally taking their first steps into racing, and that step was a little bit of a trip. That's Freddie Denton. He spun out, but he has lost nothing by doing that.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Jake, it's not about racing as such. All right, you can write this lap off for Freddie, but it doesn't matter. He can come back next lap. It's about what your fastest lap time is at the end of the session. Fastest man gets 25, second gets 24, and so on. 3 sessions during the day. The top point scorer is the man that takes the big pot home. And talking of big pots, Darren Beavers, the championship organised this weekend, has put on some fantastic trophies, I have to say. I'm running my own event at the end of September, and I had a look at those trophies, thought, very nice indeed.
Do you know what? I will put my hand on my heart and say that when I first heard about the world of Bambino racing a few years ago, I was a staunch objector. I really didn't like it, the concept of it when I first started it, largely because my eldest at the time was about 7 or 8 years old, so I thought, well, there's no chance she's ever going to get into it. I'm not going to give her the opportunity to like it. But I have to say, what the Bambino Kart Club has done over the last 3 or 4 seasons, how they've built up this momentum, how they organise the events, having now seen it firsthand myself, and having watched as there's another spinner. Now that is going to be, I think that's Freddie Denton again, who's had a little bit of a moment, but again, you learn by doing, and I think that's what's won me over, you know. It's the fact that in this C50 Bambino class in particular, you learn by practicing, you learn by getting better at it, you boost your confidence, you get on with the job, you learn as you develop, and you develop as you learn. It's a really inspiring method of going motor racing. There used to be a lot of kids that would just be thrown into the deep end before they could really run, and now these guys are able to learn at their own pace. They can get faster, they can get more confidence, they can get better at it. And I have to say, some of the drivers that have come through now over the last 2 or 3 seasons from Bambinos, it proves that it works.
Yeah,
you know, the
there's no
racecraft is definitely there.
Yeah, no doubt whatsoever. It does help them at a very young age. Not slick tyres, of course. They're sort of, it's almost like an old intermediate tyre. If you remember the old intermediate tyres with Formula One, it's that type of tyre. And the reason they don't put them on slick tyres is they want the karts to slide around and they want them to learn kart control. Looks like Braith Murdoch has got past the man who he was behind for a while and he's been chasing.
Yeah, Josh Carlin, who has found an extra 0.3 of a second by battling with him. Now, this is interesting, a 1:09.117. Now, if Carlin keeps battling with Murdoch, who is, crucially, the fastest man on the session, he might be able to put one over on him.
Yeah. Now, the reason Murdoch is fast is because Carlin's the second man on the track, and it's him that he's caught up and then passed. And talking about passed...
Oh, that's Denham. That's Cole Denham on the sidelines. Now, he is running 3rd at the moment. So Cole Denham, well, 40 seconds to go. If he can get the kart started again and cross the line, he's got one more lap. Oh, and that's a bit of a moment. Whoops, that's Victor Bernard unfortunately tagging Tyler Davis as he lost control of the kart. But for Cole Denham on the sidelines, his session has effectively come to an end unless he can get it going again, but he won't lose 3rd position. It's a timed session, so he won't lose his 3rd place spot, which is the only comfort, really, as we watch from the drone once again. Whoa, Victor of a slide wide there from Izanosa Pascal Asagi, but a good recovery and a good save, obviously finding the outside line to be slightly faster. Ronnie Ray Carter goes through the shot, also too goes the 58 of Jensen White. We're in the closing stages now. Anybody who's on a flying lap can complete it, but are there going to be any major changes? That's the big question. I think these last couple of laps are going to be the crucial ones. A few of them are on some fast laps. Luke Millwood is on an improvement by the look of it. Charlie Lomas looks like he's picking up the pace in this last lap as well.
Charlie Lomas needs to, Jake, because 13th is not enough. That is going to give Tyler Davis, who's only 4th himself, he would be hoping for something better than that, but 4th is going to be enough to give him, the way things stand, I think it's going to be something like a 2-point championship lead, very close.
Murdoch and Carlin across the line together to take the checkered flag, and they remain 1 and 2 from Cole Denham, despite being on the sidelines, will remain 3rd, and Tyler Davis, 4th place, is the new championship leader, unless Lomas can improve his time from a 1:14. Well, he's done a 1:14.3, but is he going to improve? As he comes across the line, this is going to be crucial. The 1:13.34, it's not enough. We have a new championship leader in C50 Bambino. His name in 4th place is Tyler Davis.
The championship leader coming into the round will not be the same championship leader going out of the round. Charlie Lomas only P13 in that final run of the day, and that's going to drop him behind Tyler Davis in the championship. That's the overall result for the top 10 on the weekend. After the race, I caught up with the normally chatty Braith Murdoch. Braith, the little adult, and you were a big adult today. Great result for you. First, third and first overall. Who do you want to thank for your weekend this weekend?
My mum and dad and my sister.
And you're in Bambino this year. What's your plans for next year? What do you think you'll be racing next year?
Honda Cadet.
Okay, looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Speak to him without a microphone, you can't shut him up. Obviously, the best way to keep kids quiet, get the microphone out. Tyler Davis leads from Charlie Lomas, but only just by 2 points. Cole Denham in 3rd, Tyler Lee 4th, Larry Price, a disastrous weekend for him, down to 5th, and Ronnie Ray Carter rounds out the top 6. The last race of the meeting is on the playlist. It's the Honda 200 class.